And I said, get away from here. He had beautiful hair.
Hello, one and all. Good to see you. Bang, 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 gavel thing, that sort of stuff. Mikey here, just Mikey today. That's all right. We've got things going for us. We're going to see some Judge Dude. If you're new here, that's what we call him. He's Judge Dude. But before that, I must go ahead and thank for the provisions from our good friend Bigfoot, already dropping 2 bones, Daddy. We appreciate your patronage. Make sure, by the way, if you're not subscribed, even if you've decided, hey, you know what, I don't want to become a member yet, make sure you got those gifts turned on, because you never know when one of these fine folks in the chat just might gift them. You want to make sure you got those on. This is a TPO in jail, of course. Sometimes we'll see cases that are somewhat both ways, let's say, where both parties are just not good for each other, but they just can't stay away. Good to see K, Terminator. And that's pretty much, well, that's pretty much what we got here. It's going to be, well, needless to say, both sides are going to have very good points on why they should never, ever, 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 ever be around each other again. Oh, I remembered. Don't you forget. You got to take the little thing and you put the juice into the tape, and then you put the thing in, and it's got the white tape and cleans the heads. I never had the forehead VCR, so I wasn't rich. But needless to say, we're going to jump on into this. Glad everybody's here. I'll do my best to say hello to everyone because I'm running the video. I'm doing all the Lord's work over here and trying to keep up with you guys. So without further ado, the show.
Ma'am, do you swear any statements you make will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
I swear.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. All right.
The moon and the stars in the sky. It's all right, baby.
Petition. I had it, but now I've lost it.
By the way, real quick,
All
you'll
right,
see
so you filed this petition
shopping
against Mr. Johnson. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And to the last and best knowledge you had, he was a DeKalb County resident?
That's correct.
All right.
I'll say this once, we'll get it out of the way. Creed's at the casino today. He's decided he's going to do some casinoing in this beautiful day. He won some monies, and he's celebrating by going to the casino. So I'm sure he'll tell us how he did when he returns.
And you said that you two are present or past spouses. Are you two still married?
Yes, legally, yes.
Oh,
okay.
No.
And you have 2 children together, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. When was the last time you two lived together?
Gary.
April 17th, 2021. Well, 22.
So last year.
Okay. In your petition, you said there was an incident where he was in contact with you in May and he was following you. Before we get into those details, are there any court orders that tell him to stay away from you or your family prior to this court order?
Prior to the one on May the 4th?
Right. Was there an order in place already on May 4th?
I know he had a bond condition that he's supposed to stay away, not be in contact, and just that previous TPO from 2022.
Okay. When when did the previous 2022 TPO expire?
It started on May the 5th of 2022, and the last day was May the 4th of 2022.
And was
Well,
that in
May the
DeKalb
4th
County?
of
or somewhere
2023.
else?
May the
Yes,
4th
it
be
was for
with you.
DeKalb County.
Yes.
Okay. So
Get better. Spike Donuts, what's up?
and you believe that was that a Newton County case that he would have had a criminal bond?
No, he had a so on that 2022 protective order, I went to DeKalb County Court in November of 2022. It was approved to issue a criminal warrant for him violating that same protective order. And he
Sweden.
had turned himself in November,
Mm-hmm. Turn yourself
and
in.
the conditions for that bond was for him to not be in contact.
Okay. Makes sense. Marty. Even
Okay.
Judge
And
Dude's
so
trying
what
to
court
unpack
issued
everything.
the bond?
DeKalb County issued the bond. I think I have the warrant number. We went to court like November the 11th or 19th of last year, DeKalb County. And he was either supposed to pay the courts the money they wanted or turn himself in a week or 7 days, however they had it. And he turned himself in. And the conditions for the bond that he used to get out of jail when he turned himself in was for him not to be in contact with me.
Okay, well, that's cut and dry. He's not supposed to be around. Judge Dude, I will say this. He does tend to look like he's got eye makeup on or something. I don't know. I don't know if it's long nights or early mornings. I don't know. But Amy, I'm right there with you. I see that. And Mayor, I hope you're feeling better. I know you're in everyone's thoughts.
And it was also conditions for that warrant for him to not be in contact with me, on top of the protective order that was already active.
Long pauses with Judge Dude today.
And so how did he contact you?
For the criminal warrant, we had an incident at Nia's place where he didn't follow the directions. He left the exit entrance before I departed the property safely. And the police officer on site at Nia's place had to call Decatur police officers for assistance because he was non-compliant with her. And he came within 6 feet of me and the children as we were walking to our vehicle.
Real quick, if you don't know, excuse me, if you don't know what Mia's place is, it's basically a safe place for parents that are having issues that they can kind of come together, and it's, supervised visitation for the children. Yeah, but there's a lot of, rules and things and ways you got to do it. So that's where they were. And that's why it's a big deal that he basically followed them outside afterwards.
All right. And when did that happen?
That was August the 28th.
Okay.
Robert. All by himself, Jay. He's a dangerous man.
And did he say anything during this?
All he said was, "Hey, Grace," and that's when I looked in that direction where he was coming out from behind his place.
All right. And is his current incarceration related to anything involving you?
Yes, he's currently incarcerated in Newton County for aggravated stalking because of May 4th events.
Because of what?
Because of the events that happened on May the 4th.
Okay. So when he was following you and what was he saying?
He either followed or either he put a tracker on my mother's car.
Ooh, there we go.
The place in Newton County, that was my second time coming. The first time I came was only for an hour and I was gone. So it wasn't a known address. It's not even listed as my address. I haven't listed anything as my address for the reasons of my protection for me and my kids. And it's an hour from his home, an hour from his work. He has no reason in Newton County at all.
Very dark.
All right.
Very brooding.
Mr. Johnson, do you have questions for this witness?
Yes, I do.
All right, before Mr. Johnson gets into it, let me go ahead and thank Simon John over in the UK. And Paul. I have no idea where Paul's at, but it's all right. You know, hold down the fort. Yes. We'll go with that. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Simon. A lot's been said. I mean, he's locked up because he violated at Mia's place of all places. You think so? He's got long, dark eyelashes. I've got long, dark eyelashes too, but I don't know. Maybe. Simon and Paul, yes. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. On with the show.
My first question is about the that you brought up the you tell the reason why that you have to be we both had dual TPOs?
I'm sorry. So, ma'am, I guess he's asking, was there a TPO telling you not to contact him?
Yes, I didn't violate the TPO.
Right. So she
Dual TPOs. There it is. When both parties are taking them out on each other, it's never a good thing.
acknowledges that she also had a TPO against her.
Do you acknowledge that you that TPO did you put me in the hospital on April 17th
Of this year or a different year?
of 2022?
Ooh.
Okay. Did he sustain injuries in April 2022 that resulted in him going to the hospital?
April, the injuries that he sustained, I also was supposed to be going to the hospital, but I did not. For the injuries that he gave me because I had to take care of our children. So I'm
going to take that as a yes. What's your next question?
So she beat him up so bad last April that he had to be put in the hospital. When you say that like that, though, it's like, you know, really? Yeah, tracking's never cool. That's a big no-no, but it's so easy now. It's anybody can do it. It's gotten to be just too easy. And now everybody's into it. But yeah, she beat his ass. She beat his ass good. Real good.
Sir.
My next question was, were you arrested and convicted of felony violence and simple battery?
Against you or someone else?
Against her, like, well, yeah, she did to me, yeah, she did to me, yeah. But
All right. Have you been arrested and convicted for family violence battery against him?
I was arrested on April 17th, but I haven't been convicted. The case is still open.
All right. Next question.
Case is still open, so she could be charged. It's she's not out of the woods yet.
my next question is, at Nina's place, did I not try to attain and get boy their shoes? And they wouldn't allow me to because they changed their rules just for the last year.
She can't speak to the Nia's Place rules, but did you see him with shoes?
I seen him with shoes. I don't know about the Nia's Place because I read the same pamphlet and it said they could have did it, but he already violated so much on a protective order. He could have just mailed them. He's attempted to ship stuff to my house before.
My next question is, how many times have you rode around my house?
How many times what?
After you drove around my house doing the TPO?
How many times since this TPO have you been out there driving around my house? And when I say driving around my house, I mean literally in the yard, driving around, not even on the street. Wow, she's pulling out.
Okay. How many times have you driven by his house?
Zero. Since I was arrested on April the 17th, I have not been back to that place.
0.
And for the record, he's referring to Yolanda Trail. I have not been to that place at all. But as far as my mother's home, which he is also banned from, for criminal trespassing and his mother attacking my mother and my sister, he's been there plenty of times though during the TPO.
Mom fights. Mom fights. Do we have video of the mom fights? Mom fights.
Also, my next question would be,
Did my mom beat your mom's ass? True or false?
did you change all the mailing addresses and have everything mailed to you?
Did you change his mailing address?
No, I did not. I changed my mailing address and my children's mailing address.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because there's a police report and proof that you did it.
She says she answered your question. What's next?
The next question would be, did or did you not, in the warrant, state that, no, back it up. Did you not, in a recording, say that you did not, we will never see my kids ever again, which we have proof of that, it's sent to the court area.
Have you made any comments regarding him not seeing the children?
No, the only comments I've made is that I pled with the court to get the Nia's place started, and on our first visit, he got us basically discontinued from Nia's place. They refused for him to be allowed back on their property.
Okay, so the visitation thing was set up through Mia's place, and the first time they go there, all this is what happens. I thought like they'd been going there for a long time, but apparently it just shit to bed as soon as they got there the very first time. Not very good at following rules.
I was talking about prior to the TPO, prior to.
I'm sorry, say that part again, sir.
Prior to the TPO. You stated that the kids were not mine, and you'll never see them
Did you
again.
make any of those statements prior to the TPO?
The kids aren't his.
No,
Oh.
sir. I don't understand what's the presence of this question for this TPO.
Because I sent the recordings in to this court on July.
They got the recordings? Oh my God. And he's digging through his paperwork.
I sent the TPO to the email address stated CSNINFOTPO at DeKalb County Government.
Go on.
What exactly are you asking?
I took the recordings in. I was asking, did I get the recordings?
Madam Clerk, did we get any
Okay.
recordings?
I don't know that we have Madam Clerk to be able to pull those up at the moment. So right now, this is questions for her.
She's gone home.
So what is the whether she did or she didn't, what is the relevance of that comment or threat or whatever you want to term that is?
Are you doing this TPO just so I will never see my kids again?
That's argumentative. I mean, you can make that argument if that's why you want to say she's doing it, but I mean, right now you're in jail for a felony. So whether I grant the TPO or not doesn't change that.
That's what I'm saying.
Agree. That was stating my facts,
agree.
sir. That's all I was stating my facts. Also, on the day of May 4th, did you or did you not call my phone and have you and your boyfriend threaten me?
Uh-oh, new man.
I mean, like threaten to kill me, like told my mother that she need to get her background and get ready because I'm gonna come kill you. And did he not come to my house that same night?
What?
Okay, so do you have someone come to his house?
No, sir. We stayed in the house. We stayed up the whole night. The kids were scared to go to sleep after he came to our home, banging on the door. We stayed up the whole night. Everybody was scared to leave. because he came banging on the door after my partner left.
Partner.
He called and told us that he was coming back, and I did call Newton County to come back.
Also, have a report for that, Your Honor, when the officer actually heard it. I've heard about that stuff caught when it happened. So
Say that last part again, sir.
Please.
I said I was right by a cop when they called my phone and the officer heard it. And also showing my location where I was at. I was actually I was just at my house. That was actually showing my location where I was at. So I was nowhere near close by, nowhere was I going towards her house or wherever it might be.
When somebody uses the term partner, to me, that, I don't know, it makes me think it's just somebody they're hooking up with, you know, like sexual partner. I mean, I could be wrong. This lady might be holding out on this guy, but it almost comes across as that. But that's just me. And GZA 160. So.
All right. What's your next question?
He's a former partner.
Right. My next question is going to be
Sweet tea.
what are we doing for this wedding? Are we getting divorced or not?
Oh yeah, they're married. Ooh, I forgot all about that. They're married. Oof. That's right. We never ask for money, but we do appreciate it.
Relevant to this hearing. Next question.
I had no more questions, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Wilson, does the petitioner rest their case?
Yes, sir. I don't have any further questions or statements.
Okay. So,
Statement.
all right, sir, you have the choice to testify or remain silent. If you choose to testify, you'll then the questions and the answers you give to questions can be used against you in other court proceedings, including criminal ones. And potentially you could be incriminating yourself. So with that said, do you wish to testify today or remain silent?
Testify today.
All right. Did I swear you in at the outset of the hearing, correct?
No.
Okay, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear the statements you make will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. What would you like to tell us?
What is where she said that I threatened to kick her out the house for not paying for the electrical work on the house? I did not do no such thing. I pretty much told her that you had to pay for it because my ankle test will not be coming in. Only reason I said that because of the fact that the house could burn down because what the breaker box was sick, which I've sent pictures in to this courtroom about the situation. The house, 3 houses down, burnt down for the exact same reason 3 months ago. Or probably 4 months ago. I've been in jail so long. 3 months ago. I said that was false. The next statement was she said I kicked her out the house on Christmas Eve. My godfather and my mother should be in the courtroom, but I see that we changed the date for July 11th, so I don't know what happened. They can testify, say I left the house, and she was currently beating on me. I also testify that at all these occasions, I have caught the police every time you put her hands on me and the cops ask her to leave every single time. And on these occasions, she has never caught the police ever.
Ever. Was that the mic drop moment or what?
Okay, so tell me about the incident from May 4th.
May 4th. Like I said, Your Honor, pretty much they caught my phone, threatened me. I was coming from JJ's Chicken. I was actually on my cousin Brittany's house.
Hang on. Did you say JJ's Chicken? Creed, can you look? Oh, never mind. I bet it's got good chicken.
Who is they?
Grace and her boyfriend.
Okay, so they call you threatening you, you say, and then what happens?
Excuse me, sir, partner.
And I say leave me alone. I'm not into that type of stuff right there. Y'all can please leave me alone. Also, I was in front of an officer when this call came through. Officer C, to be exact, of DeKalb County. He was over there about they're running up Countisville. Where the situation happened. Now, when I got my phone call back while I was Officer C, a Newton County officer called my phone. Actually, was I close by? And I said, no, I'm actually here with Officer C. And we talked to him. And I passed him the phone to Officer C. Officer C pronounced to put me in handcuffs, put me back in the car, because he thought I violated my TPO and he thought I had a warrant for my arrest. But what he kind of find out was there was no warrant for my arrest and my TPO was completely done with. So he let me go. But he also filed a police report. That following day, I was at my cousin Brittany's house. My mother called me because she's at my house with a current knee surgery, having current knee surgery. So when she called my house, she called me, she said, right outside saying, Chris, bring your, you know what?
They got fish too? Damn. I'm missing out.
House. Bring your spirit out of the house. And she heard gunshots. I left from my cousin Brittany's house, which stayed literally 5 minutes from the house. And when she left the house, I called the police, and the police met me there. Officer Stig and a couple other officers met me while I was there.
Awesome.
All right. Ms. Wilson, any questions I haven't thought to ask? Or any questions that need to be asked for him?
Yeah, what about the gunshots? Can we talk about those?
I have a question. Do you recall when you text my phone saying, and you said right house? I said wrong house. You said, oh no, right house. What did you actually mean by that if you didn't come to my house?
Probably you text me. I didn't know what you mean. I really meant like, well, I guess you called the wrong person. Like, called your boyfriend. I said he called me. I was like, yeah, right out, I got you.
But now,
right to the voice court with it.
but now, did you butt down me? I don't know. You meant to call your boy.
That's the only question. I just know on May the 4th, it was about 8 o'clock after my partner left the house. And as soon as he left the house, I heard a door shut. And I looked out the window and it was him. So I grabbed my children and went to a rear room and called Newton County's 911. The DeKalb County officer he had arrested him because Newton County was trying to get the warrant for the aggravated stalking. Because at that point, it was aggravated stalking. Because I'm always aware of my surroundings. My home, it was my second time coming to this place. Nobody really knows about it. My mother didn't even have the address yet, or my sister had the address. That's how secure I was in that. So it's nowhere near his job, nowhere near his home where he can be like, oh, I was just in the neighborhood. He was not. That Chevrolet that he's referring to, driving from Newton County on probably Route 155, which leads back into the DeKalb County, it makes sense why he was at that gas station. Because to my understanding, he kept FaceTiming my phone while he was banging at the door, saying that, oh, I'm at your boyfriend's house. So you were at somebody's house. Is that correct?
No, to actually be honest with you, I was actually on the road. I have my class A's now. Like my job can verify where I was at. I was actually in the truck. I didn't get home till like 5 o'clock.
I'm referring to 8 o'clock. You said you got home at 5 o'clock. I said 8 o'clock, I called 911. So that makes sense. You have enough time to get to my home if you got home at 5 o'clock.
But the police report I made was at 8 o'clock. So I was at your house at 8 o'clock and my police report was at 8 o'clock.
Is Judge Duda asleep?
Your Honor, I don't want to do the back and forth. So I have no more questions.
All right.
All right. Before Judge Dude starts his soliloquy here, I don't know. I mean, I've known women that wear bras that size. Not triple H. I think double H or just single H, maybe. It was nice this morning, by the way. It was like 67. I got up at 6:30, went for a walk for an hour, come home, weed eat, then blew the driveway. Should have seen a smile on his face. So here's the idea. Is this denied, or is he going to grant this young lady her TPO for her jailbird husband, soon to be ex-husband, maybe partner lover?
So there's a lot to unpack in cases like this. A few notable things for everybody to keep in mind. This is a civil hearing, not a criminal. It does not have direct impact on any criminal charges that are pending or not. It doesn't change any bond conditions or not. But I think what's
Too sweet, you're in Eastern North Carolina? I am too. I'm here at the Crystal Coast, Jacksonville, North Carolina.
I guess the best way I can put it, it's wild to me that this seems to have taken place. There seems to have been an incident that has taken place on the day the protective order is to expire, but that order doesn't expire until 11:59, and yet it wasn't acted upon anyway, which is probably how you eventually ended up where you have been in the Newton County Jail. Oddly enough, when we do landlord-tenant cases, we put 11:59 on there. We don't do that for TPOs. This is the first time I've had it come up. Maybe it's a reason why we should. I don't know. But for the questions I'm tasked with deciding today, of deciding whether an order should be extended or not, and then all the questions that go into that, my answer to this is that it will, as that it should be extended, and so that is what I will do.
There it is.
And so, sir, you'll have bond conditions from Newton County if you don't already, separate and apart from this, and the order will have terms that will explain that you're not to contact her for any reason.
What did he just
There
yell?
will be a point in the, so, sir, you'll have bond conditions. We put 11:59 on there. We don't do that for
He
TPOs.
yelled something. What does he
First
just
time I've
yell?
had it come up. Maybe it's a reason why we should. I don't know. But for the questions I'm tasked with deciding today, of deciding whether an order should be extended or not, and then all the questions that go into that, my answer to this is that it will, as that it should be extended, and so that is what I will do. And so, sir, you'll have bond conditions from Newton County if you don't already, separate and apart from this, and the order will have terms that will explain that you're not to contact her for any.
Did he say hi, boo? What the hell did he just say? I don't know what he said, but that's not good.
Reason. There will be a point in the future after you're out of custody, once hopefully there's been some settling out as far as probation, parole, bond, whatever other conditions. When we know what those are, you can file a motion with the court in regards to contact, custody, or visitation to figure out what that might look like. And it'll be scheduled for a hearing with the court, put in front of a judge, and someone will be able to make a decision of what that should look like once we know what other restrictions are being placed on you by other courts.
Did you just notice that Creed's not here? Really? Just now? It took you this long to figure it out? Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right. So, he said Baba Booey. That's what he said. Oh, that makes all the sense in the world now.
Whoa. Stop the clock.
But it's very difficult to pinpoint what something should be when there's a distinct possibility that something more restrictive might be coming from it. So that would be the.
I have no bond, and this charge comes with a year minimum of prison time.
Right. So if this all comes to pass, the year might just run while you're sitting there, in which case this doesn't affect you at all. That's not exactly a silver lining, because that's a crummy spot to be in. And so I don't say that to be cracking wise about your situation, or be funny about it. But the timer starts now and it ends on July 17th.
Okay, so he's in there with no bond and he's facing a year minimum. So all this was for naught. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be stuck there for at least a year. I don't know. Who wants to guess that they are still married after the year? Show of hands. I think so too.
At 11:59. How long you do or don't stay in jail does not change when it starts and when it ends. You essentially get our version of credit for time served. And so if you remain in custody after a year, then there's no order in place, and the rest of the legal process will help handle whatever needs to be handled. So
Right, Tiff? Thank you, Tiff.
that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. That is the order of the court.
And that, my friend, was a total waste of the court's time. If he's not getting out for an entire year, there's no way he's getting out. He's got to pull a year. He's on no bond. Again, maybe it's a move for the divorce. Maybe there's something at stake there. I don't know. I don't think he's been legitimized, but they were married, so I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, there you go. Get to claim on the taxes. Nancy, good to see you. I hope everybody had a great time. I know I did, hanging out with you fellers and ladies. 70% of you are women, and 10% of you didn't even know that. 105, Gary. Really? Oh, we had a little tiny cool down today, just tiny one, just small. SMall, small, just like this monetary monorail that I'm about to thank these folks for joining me on. But before that, we got to get the proper music. There it is. Turn it up in my headphones. Turn it up. I said turn it up. There you go. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope everybody's staying out of the heat. 48? Damn. All right, fellas. Let's get this done. This monetary monorail, also known as the Just Mikey Express. Bigfoot. Simon John. And of course, Paul. That's right. 3 of those guys doing the Lord's work, putting the show on their backs, bringing it out. Bringing it out. Need you guys to stay safe. Don't get hard yet. Stay hard. Now he's at the casino. He made some money, so he's spending it. Stay safe. Stay hard. Stay tuned. Because the best is yet to come, kids. We love you. Keep an eye out for videos dropping all throughout the day. Be back here for We Gotta Chase 405. Oh my God. Bye.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop. We've been hanging and banging, brother.
Who's this?
What is it?